Welcome back to Unveiled Oracle and Tarot, where today I am totally bugging over the newly released Clueless Tarot Deck. Illustrated by Laurie-Anne Poquet and written by Erica Davis, the official Clueless Tarot is a nostalgic tribute to one of the most quintessential pieces of 90s pop culture. Before we go through all of its unique features, those of you who are interested in learning how this deck came to be can find a link to my interview with its author in the video description below. That said, let's get rolling with our homies from Clueless. The first thought I had when I saw this box, and especially its sides and back, was caboodle. For those unfamiliar with what a caboodle is, imagine a glittery pink and purple tackle box, except instead of fishing lures, it holds all the 90s teenage girl essentials. Makeup, hair pieces, nail polish. Funnily enough, I'm told those caboodle vibes were 100% intentional. As for its other features, it has everything you want to see, including a massive display of the artwork here on the cover, as well as 5 card previews on the back. I like how they've combined the glossy and matte finish to make the title and imagery pop. The box itself is a standard pull-apart with a nice gradient interior and more of these little paint sparkles that kind of remind me of glitter. Moving on to the guide, it really does feel like a continuation of the box, with the blending colors and simple graphics carrying over. The cover is a soft, smooth material as well, and the spine feels nice and strong. I'm a huge fan of these bends that divert pressure from the binding, putting it here instead of here. Inside, the table of contents is nicely organized, and, as usual, the major arcana have full-page, full-color images, and full-page descriptions for each. Meanwhile, the minor suits split the page between a smaller image and its upright and reversed interpretations. These are all layout choices that anyone familiar with tarot will recognize as fairly standard, but it is nice to see how substantial each description is as well. In a collectible deck like this, it just adds to the experience, especially from a beginner or collector perspective. On that note, one other feature I always appreciate in any deck is the addition of custom spreads that fit within its theme, and this tarot has 3. The first is the 3-card makeover spread, which feels like a variation of challenge, opportunity, and outcome, explored through the lens of Cher, Dion, and Ty. The second is a 5-card spread called Party in the Vow, including a surprise clog to the head, to guide us through unexpected situations that occur in social settings. The third and final spread is Epiphany at Electric Fountain and calls for 7 cards. It is designed to help users have their own aha moment by identifying and navigating the situations in their own lives in which they themselves are totally clueless. Personally, I'm very pleased with these spreads and how they incorporate some of the movie's most memorable scenes, but I would love to hear your impressions in the comments below. Let's go ahead and have a closer look at the cards. The cardstock is a nice durable weight, which is typical for this publisher. These are also that smooth, matte finish, and it is just one of the side effects of smoother finishes that you are going to have some sticking, at least until you've broken them in a bit. As for the art, we've got several nods to the movie, including a cell phone, fuzzy blue pen, coffee cup, and handbag. All things we see being carried around repeatedly by Cher and her friends throughout the film. The pink and blue color scheme, as well as the doodle graphics, have also carried over from the box cover, which leads me to my final point. Between the cards, the box, and the guide, we've got great cohesion between all elements of this tarot deck. All of its parts combined, I do think this is one of those decks that is just as usable as it is collectible, which, from the perspective of someone who practices as well as collects, makes the Clueless Tarot a total Betty. So, all of that said, let's go ahead and see how the characters and scenes from the movie have been interpreted to fit within the suits themselves as we flip through all 78 card faces. Remember, if you notice anything of particular interest in the artwork, share it with the rest of the class in a comment. So what do you think? Does the Clueless Tarot pay appropriate tribute to the film's 30-year legacy, or is it a total Monet? As always, feel free to comment with your thoughts or point out any Easter eggs you found along the way. Plus, don't forget to check out my interview with the deck's author, Erica Davis, linked in the video description. Thank you all for joining me on this adventure, and if you found this video useful, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to support our future explorations. Until next time, I'm outie.